We begin tonight with new accusations about the use of banned drugs in American professional sports. According to media reports, the National Football League and Major League Baseball say that they will investigate questions of doping raised in an Al Jazeera investigative documentary, The Dark Side: Secrets of the Sports Dopers. Al Jazeera's investigative unit infiltrated the world of sports doping with the help of Liam Collins, a British athlete. They recorded hours of conversations with doctors and a pharmacist who made astounding claims about specific professional baseball and football players, claims the players deny. Al Jazeera's Deborah Davies has a preview.
On hidden camera footage, a pharmacist in Texas, Charlie Sly, advises a British athlete, Liam Collins, on the use of drugs banned in professional sport.
One anabolic, and I can give you some to use right now, is this Delta 2 stuff. It's a steroid, but it'll be great for you for strength gains.
Oh, really?
There's a bunch of football players that take this, and a bunch of baseball players take it too.
Liam Collins isn't a drugs cheat. He's working undercover for Al Jazeera's investigative unit to expose what athletes call the dark side, the alleged use of performance-enhancing substances. Charlie Sly claimed connections to several top sportsmen in American football and baseball. One player, Taylor Teagarden, was filmed in Sly's apartment discussing his own use of the Delta 2 drug.
I used it last year.
Yeah.
I was scared, to be honest with you. I took it for like 2 weeks, and I was also taking peptides too.
Sly also alleges that when he worked at an anti-aging clinic, the Gaia Institute in Indianapolis, a banned substance was shipped to the wife of football star Peyton Manning.
And all the time we would be sending Ashley Manning drugs, like a growth hormone, all the time, everywhere. Florida. It would never be under Peyton's name. It would always be under her name.
In an interview with ESPN, Peyton Manning has now responded to the allegations in the program.
It's completely fabricated, complete trash, garbage. There's some more adjectives I'd like to be able to use. But it really makes me sick.
We spoke to the Gaia Institute, who gave us the start date Charlie Sly worked in their pharmacy in 2011. In the last 24 hours, Sly issued his own video denial. Our investigation also infiltrated a doping network in Canada. We filmed a pharmacist and doctor who supply our undercover athlete with an array of banned drugs and offer to destroy medical records to cover it up.
You're going to be doing like 10 injections a day in some cases.
Wow.
Okay, hormonal enhancement. Now we're going to get into the bad shit.
If you want to really go black ops, so to speak, I can just document everything not in this chart, but on my own chart. And if somebody ever comes sniffing for it, there's the decoy.
Chad Robertson, Brandon Spletzer and Taylor Teagarden didn't respond to request for comment. Other athletes and medical professionals named in the program who did respond deny the allegations. Al Jazeera's undercover investigation raises new questions about the possible use of performance-enhancing drugs in sport.
As you just saw in Deborah's report, Peyton Manning is the highest profile star named in this investigation. Nearly 5 years ago, he was trying to recover from a neck injury he suffered as the quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts. The past 4 seasons, he has been with the Denver Broncos, and he's now just one victory shy of setting the NFL record for wins by a starting quarterback. Manning has mounted an aggressive campaign against the Al Jazeera report. Here's more of his interview from earlier today with ESPN.
It makes me sick that it brings Ashley into it, her medical history, her medical privacy being violated. That makes me sick. I don't understand that. And you know, I'm in the middle of my throwing workout, which I enjoy doing that, and if I got to interrupt this workout to come and, you know, talk about this, it's not right. I don't understand it.
Have you ever used HGH or any performance-enhancing drug?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And what hurts me the most about this is that whoever this guy is, this slapstick, trying to insinuate that in 2011 when I, you know, more or less had a broken neck. I don't know, 4 neck surgeries, you know, broken neck, I'm not sure. I'm sure there's a difference in there, but I had a bad neck. And I busted my butt, you know, to get healthy. Put in a lot of hard work. I saw a lot of doctors. I went to the Gaia clinic. He had a hyperbaric chamber that our coach, trainers, and doctors thought might be good for me. They went with me and thought it might help. Don't know if it helped. It didn't hurt. Time ended up being probably my best medicine, along with a lot of hard work. And that it really it stings me, whoever this guy is, insinuating that I cut corners. I broke NFL rules in order to get healthy. It's a joke. It's a freaking joke.
Earlier, we spoke with Deborah Davies, the reporter who led the investigation. We asked her what she thought about Manning's defense and the fact he called the Al Jazeera report a joke.
Well, what this is 8 months of a very, very rigorous journalistic investigation. We spent about 6 days filming undercover with Charlie Sly, sometimes 2-3 meetings a day, 20+ hours of footage. Every time we recorded him, we reviewed the material, we looked at what was in it, we then primed Liam with more questions to get more details. We have confirmed absolutely Charlie Sly worked in the Gaia clinic. I rang them directly before the program went out and they gave me the precise start date that he worked there in 2011. We know for sure that growth hormone was shipped
let me stop you right there.
Manning in Florida.
Let me stop you right there because Peyton Manning's spokesman says that Sly was an intern at the Institute in 2013 and that he was not there in 2011. So there's a conflict. But what about, I wonder if you can resolve that, but what about also the accusation that Al Jazeera is relying on private medical information about Ashley Manning to tarnish her husband, Peyton Manning?
No, not at all. Look, the allegation in the program, which Peyton Manning hasn't actually addressed in his denial, is that growth hormone was shipped to Ashley Manning in Florida. So if that is the allegation, the questions that haven't been answered is how long did those shipments go on? How much was shipped? What was the total cost spent on human growth hormone? But also, here's a key question. Growth hormone is a very, very severely restricted drug. It's not like almost any other medicine. There are only 3 very, very serious medical conditions for which it is legal, not just bad practice, but illegal
Deborah,
for a doctor to prescribe for anything other.
You said that you know it was shipped to Florida.
Yes.
How do you know that?
Yes, we've had it confirmed by people within Manning's own camp, and they have not denied that. The question is, how long, how much, and what for? And if it is for Ashley Manning, which it may well be, and of course no one wants to intrude on her medical records, then they need to confirm whether she did or did not have any of these 3 medical conditions for which it would be legal to ship the growth hormone. Anything beyond that, not the Mannings, but the doctor who has prescribed it and shipped it has actually committed a crime.
Now,
that's the question that needs answering.
Now, regarding Charlie Sly, as you mentioned in the piece, he has issued a video recantation of his claims. Let's play a little bit of that, and then I've got a question for you on the other end. Watch.
Okay.
Any recordings of me were made without my knowledge or consent. It is my belief that an individual named Liam Collins secretly made those recordings. Liam is a reputed fraudster who is banned in his native United Kingdom from running any investment businesses. The statements on any recordings or communications that Al Jazeera plans to air are absolutely false and incorrect. To be clear, I am recanting any such statements, and there is no truth to any statement of mine that Al Jazeera plans to air.
So there you have Charlie Sly denying the claims. We have Peyton Manning denying the claims, the Indianapolis Colts, the Denver Broncos, the Gaia Institute all denying. So a lot of people may wonder, be confused, why then move forward with the film? Can you explain that decision?
Yeah, because, I mean, Charlie Sly's denial came something like 3.5 weeks after we contacted him to tell him precisely what was in the program. He didn't reply to us. You have to question whether someone who's spoken to you for 20+ hours when they don't know they're being filmed says one thing when they clearly have something to hide. You've seen drugs in his fridge, you've seen a baseball player turn up at his apartment. Do you believe what he said when he didn't realize there was anything to hide, or do you believe what he says when he knows he's about to be exposed?
Well, another person that is interviewed for the film is Eddie Dominguez. He's a former Major League Baseball investigator. He estimates that 20% of professional ball players are still taking performance-enhancing drugs. Major League Baseball says that's not true. Why give credibility to Dominguez given that Major League Baseball terminated him with cause 2 years ago? Doesn't he have an axe to grind with the league?
No, what Major League Baseball did was they restructured their investigations unit and everyone in it was laid off. And Eddie was one of those. He was also, I think, the only one who refused to sign a gagging clause, which means he's pretty well the only one free to speak. MLB, when they spoke to me on the phone off the record, tried very, very hard to smear Eddie. Eddie spent 6 years in that unit struggling to fight and catch the dopers. If anyone knows what they're talking about, it's Eddie Dominguez.
And then I want to circle back to one thing that's still left hanging, and that is this sort of conflict over Charlie Sly and when he was at the Geyer Institute. You insist that he was there in 2011 as an intern. Peyton Manning's spokesman says no, it wasn't until 2013. How do you reconcile those differences?
I can simply tell you that I phoned the Geyer. I said, I want you to do a verification check. They put me through to someone. She said, oh yes, I know who you're talking about. She went and got the records. She came back. She gave me a precise start date that she was reading from the records of when he started there in 2011. I asked her, did he work in the pharmacy? She said, yes, he was here a couple of months. I said, oh, it sounds like you know him. And she said, yes, I remember him.
The Al Jazeera report provided NFL commentators and analysts plenty to talk about on Sunday. Al Jazeera's Ines Ferre has that story.
Al Jazeera's investigation into questions of sports doping is sparking swift reaction from NFL circles.
I've never seen Peyton any angrier. Right?
These former athletes, now ESPN analysts, are standing by Denver Broncos quarterback Peyton Manning.
He said he didn't do it. Well, if he said he didn't do it, it didn't happen. And it didn't happen, he didn't do it. That's it.
You hate that it gets legitimized as a story at all.
The Broncos say in a statement, knowing Peyton Manning and everything he stands for, the Denver Broncos support him 100%. These are false claims made to Al Jazeera, and we don't believe the report. Manning's former team, the Indianapolis Colts, writes, Peyton played the game in Indianapolis for 14 years the right way. He never took any shortcuts, and it would be absurd to suggest he would have taken prohibited performance-enhancing drugs. The quarterback hired former White House press secretary Ari Fleischer as part of his PR team. Fleischer told the Denver Post there's no truth to it. And on Twitter, former Colts linebacker Gary Brackett writes, I can go on record and say I've never seen a player work as hard as Peyton Manning, and there's no way he would cheat the game. And former Colts head coach Tony Dungy says, I have read all the stuff about Peyton Manning and HGH, and I don't believe it. I know him too well, and he has too much respect for NFL. The league is not commenting on the documentary, but reports from the Washington Post and the Bleacher Report cite sources close to the NFL saying they will investigate claims about the athletes named in the documentary. Ines Ferre, Al Jazeera.
Hi everybody, my name is Mike. This is my YouTube page, Mox News. Thanks for tuning in. Alright, so I'm just going to keep it short. This stuff about the sports. I'm not a sports guy. I don't get sports. I don't understand the mentality of hurting another person in order for you to win a game. It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever, and it seems like, you know, the NFL, if not other sports, have been that way for a long, long time. NFL is trying to clean up their act, but they had bounties to hurt people for years and years and years, and no one said anything about it. But it was always like, I don't understand why that's okay. But again, I'm not a sports person, so I don't get, you know, this thing about the juicing, the doping, the steroid uses, right? I see these guys as nothing but entertainers at most. At the very height of what they are. This is why they get paid so much money, because they're entertaining millions of people, right? So, you know, I mean, it's not like, we all know they're not these like wonderful people to be celebrated. You guys who worship these people and teach your kids to idolize these people, huge mistake. And you know it's a mistake, and you do it anyways. I don't get it. You know, these people are just, you know, whoremongering, intravenous drug users. This is who they are. You can see it. And this story, and I mean, the next story I'm going to post is a whoremongering one about the NBA guy, but to me, you know, them being entertainers, you would want them to be the best performers, the best entertainers they could possibly be. And I mean, this is why they have all this technology in their sports gear, in their you know, their baseball bats, their all this stuff. You know, the most technology they can possibly put into it. You know, I don't understand why the juicing thing is a bad thing. Why don't you want them chemically enhanced? I would think it would make for much more interesting entertainment if we had these mutant motherfuckers, which we already have, and you're pretending like their heads are twice the size of a normal human being's head. You know, it seems like it'd be much more entertaining if we had these, you know, giant fucks with, you know, tiny little baseball bats, tiny looking baseball bats. I don't know. I'm not a sports person. I don't get why you want to pretend like they're not juicing and then act shocked when you find out that they are juicing. And, oh, can't let the kids see. Oh, no. Come on. They're whoremongering, intravenous drug users. That's who these people are. So let them be that. That's fine. I'm not judging them. I'm judging you guys that are like teaching your children to idolize them. I don't get that part. I don't get the whole sports thing, actually, in general. Anyways, I just want to say that because I thought, I've always thought this, and you know, I thought I might as well express it. This is a perfect opportunity to express it. So, doing a fundraiser, if anyone wants to help out, it's just going to be a continuous thing. I'm going to just have to come out here and say, please help. Because I don't get help if I don't ask for help. It's, you know, it's easy to make a donation at moxnews.com, MOXNEWS.com. And I look at it as more of a tip, you know. I mean, it's Christmas. If you're if you have a paper boy who delivers news to your doorstep every day, or once a week or whatever, I hope that you tip him because he works hard to do that. You know, I'm doing this. I work hard to do this too. I do. I spend a lot of time doing this, and a little tip here and there would be very nice to help me keep going because it's you guys that keep me going. It's only you guys that keep Mox News going. That and my unwillingness to let them destroy me completely. So, thanks for that. Thanks for your support. Because without you, we wouldn't be here anymore. Stay cool. One of these days, this war is going to end. Till that day.